Okay, so hello everyone. In this tutorial we'll be making a tone for modern progressive metal. The DAW I'm going to use is Digital Performer. We have too many things to say and too many things to do. So first, let's take a quick listen to the DI guitar tracks. Okay, so these are the completely raw guitar tracks. Here I have three plugins. The first one is a gate. The second one is a distortion pedal, which I'm not going to open right now, but it's TCE 808. And at the end there's a cabinet. So I'm opening a bias instance from Positive Greed. And you're watching all this stuff and you started thinking, what the fuck are all these things? Do I have to be a freaking engineer to build a proper tone? I don't know. So trust me, it's nothing like this. It's really easy. You just need to know some basic things that apply to the real amp world. So I'm going to give you this basic info you need about the things that are found inside a real metal amp head. So first, at the input stage, I think 90% of the times, if not 100, you'll find 12AX7 tubes. The expensive metal amp heads have from 4 to 6 12AX7s, if I am not mistaken. So if we see here on bias, for example, if we take a look at the Insane preamp, you will see that there are 6 tubes and they're already set automatically to 12AX. For this tutorial, I'm going to use the standard preamp because some of you might not have bias and you might want to try the demo and see if all these things sound realistic. So in this case, you'll be able to use only the first standard preamp. Next, we'll take a look at the tone stack. Most of the tone stacks here in bias are not for metal, of course, so you have to know which ones are for metal. There's also a description that tells you which one does which, so you will not get lost for sure. And of course, there aren't any must-dos or mustn'ts simply because we're in the digital domain, so you can experiment and do whatever you want. German Fireball is for the metal amps of Ingle, I think, which are usually used by guys like Jeff Loomis. Then you have the American Treadplate, which is the tone stack built by the Mesa Boogie engineers, most well-known progressive metal guitarist that uses Mesa Boogie's John Petrucci. And the American 5153, which is the Peavy's tone stack. I don't remember actually now any particular musicians that use the Peavy's, but I think Periphery have mentioned that they use one PV simulation at their XFXs, but also many metalcore artists use the PVs for sure as well. Everything in bias sounds really good anyway. But let's say that we're building, I don't know, a Mesa Boogie. Let's go to the power amp stage. So in most metal amps, you'll find either 6L6s or EL34s. The 6V6 are found mostly in older vintage amps, and the EL84s are used mainly for smaller watt amps. I think they're usually found in combo amps. Yeah. So we're not using any of those. But if you're going for an extreme metal tone, you surely want to use the 6L6s or the EL34s. Now, in reality, I think Mesa Boogies and Peavy's have 6L6 GC tubes The 6L6 GB are giving you just a lower amount of distortion, but the difference is very small. And here we are in the digital world, so you can do whatever you want. So I'm choosing the 6L6s. Okay, so we're talking so much about the power amp tubes because they're really important. You also have to know that the 6L6s are what define the American tone, while the EL34s are mostly used in British amps like Marshalls and stuff. But nowadays I think most of the expensive metal amp heads come with both of those tubes, and when I say both, I mean they give you the ability to choose between the 6L6s or the 84s. And don't forget at the power amp section to switch the modern vintage setting to modern. Okay, now the transformer section, you want this switch here to be set on the tube rectifier option. And the rectifier tube, I think most of the times you want it to be at 5Y3GT, which is not exactly the transformer the Mesa Boogies use, but it's a model that sounds really close to the transformer Mesa Boogies are using. On the transformer type, you can choose anything you want. There's not anything that will distinguish your tone from a metal tone, so whatever you choose will be fine. I'm going to use the American style. Okay, these are the fundamentals you have to know. These are the stuff you need to know to build a proper amp head on bias. The rest of the settings I'm going to do, you'll have to just watch them or figure them out by ear, depending on your personal taste and what you're going for. So now that you learned the basics, I'm going to make the final changes on all the sections to make it sound something between Djent and Metalcore, something like that. So you can watch the changes I'm doing, but I'm not going to talk anymore, I've already talked too much. Okay, our tone is ready. We're going to hear it in a mastered mix in a moment. There's some additional post-processing, the truth is, but the changes are mostly to make the guitars fit into the mix and really nothing more, since the tone I built in bias is really satisfying and sounds like a real amp. Oh, and don't forget the distortion pedal. I unbypassed it during the video. I hope you noticed it. The last thing I want to say is that for the first time in history, I think plugins sound like real amps, and actually not plugins. Bias from Positive Grid is, in my opinion, the best amp simulation plugin in the market. So if you're not convinced, go download the demo and try it for yourselves. I'm not promoting it or anything like that. It's just that it is a fantastic tool and it sounds so real. I hope you liked the tutorial and you found it informative. If you did like it, please subscribe, because there are a lot more videos about to come on the modern rock and metal production. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. See you soon!